Hey everyone, we're back in the trio, right? Because last month it was
Yeah.
just me and Ty, so Daphne is back. All right. Yeah, so today we start the series. It's called How to Market Your Social Impact Business, because that is an important thing to do because that's where the money resides. I'm not going to get tired of saying that. So, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the board being your first line of defense. A lot of people start boards and they have board members and they really don't know how to utilize them. Well, we're here to tell you, they're supposed to help you raise some money. Okay, so my name is Tracy B. Allen. I'm the owner of TVA Consulting Group, and I help social enterprises and social entrepreneurs to design, build, and fund their ventures, as well as maximizing their impacts in the community.
And I am Daphne Pettis of On Good Ground Strategic Solutions, social strategist and nonprofit consultant, helping you to gain clarity in the vision for your nonprofit, make it plain so that everybody will be able to see what the vision is and to carry it forward.
And I am Ty Boone, owner of Ty Boone Consulting. I'm a nonprofit success strategist and a program development strategist. I'm just out here with y'all trying to get these things together, man. that's what I do, right? I help nonprofits move from startup and struggle to sustainability and success, hopefully without the headache and hassle. But it depends.
They create that headache and hassle for themselves, Ty.
Sometimes it's a headache, and y'all giving me the hassle. But we can't.
Yeah. So who wants to start with the board being the first line of defense? Daphne, you want to start? Because Ty and I usually start, so you start.
Well, the board of directors. So the common question, as we always know, one, should I have a board of directors? And the answer is always yes. Nonprofits are definitely required to have a board of directors. And if you don't have one, you need to get one. Your board is your first line of defense in regards to a lot of things, in regards to your governance, in regards to how things are working within your nonprofit, your marketing and your fundraising. So it is important that your board is not only a board on paper, but an active board, as we call it. Not just that you have people who names that you have submitted and they are not doing anything, but those board members who are active and actually doing things in regards to your board. So what are those things that board members should be doing? So Ty, you want to handle that one first?
Board, not just on paper, but an active board. And I'm like,
I know, right?
that's the one right there. Because guess what? When people come to me all the time for formation, then like, just give me 3 names. Just put the names on there and let's go. And then when they start the organization, it's like, oh, how do I fire my board? Question this morning, how do I fire my board? What, they won't do any work. We can't. It's because you just put 3 names on the paper.
Mm-hmm.
These folks are not committed. They're not connected. They're not contributing. They're not competent. All those 4 things that they need to be in order to serve effectively on your board. They can't be your first line of defense because they're not prepared.
Right.
So, definitely help with fundraising, like you guys mentioned already. A lot of organizations struggle with unrestricted revenue, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of organizations we were just talking about folk want grants all the time, and they're thinking that grants are the only way to get this show on the road, and it's not. A lot of folk are missing a big piece of their funding portfolio because they are not engaging their board and having them to assist in things like fundraising. And that should be like one at the top of what are you going to help. And I have to buy into the organization. I have to buy into the mission of what you have going on so I can be willing to participate in your fundraising activity. I see, we're talking about marketing and stuff. I see a lot of times on Facebook, for example, people are having these little fundraisers and things. Mm-hmm. And it's like, raise $0 in 5 months.
Oh, you always talk about that.
No, where's your board? Where is your board? Ain't nobody at the house helping you. And this, when I say at the house, I'm talking about your board, folk who are in a part of your organization, these are the people who live with you. They live with your organization. They should be contributing, so you don't be out there looking raggedy by yourself. They're there to protect you, right? This is what the board is for. They're supposed to help you to look good.
Right. It's just like if you live in a house with a bunch of roommates and everybody's working, but every month the light gets turned off.
What is that about?
What's wrong?
Who is ordering too much Domino's and not paying the lights? You know what is going on? And I think having things in place, Daphne, like being able to assess your board, to kind of and look at them on the 4 levels that I mentioned. Are you committed? Not just to me. And sometimes when we put those 4 names on the paper, it's because they're committed to me. Like they didn't want to tell me no, so they're gonna say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this for you. And I tell people all the time, when somebody's committed to you, if you got a flat tire and you call them, they will be there. They're gonna come. They're gonna pick your baby up from daycare because you got to work late. But if they're not committed to your organization, you can have all the events, the fundraisers, the whatever that you want. They got something to do. They're busy. They can't come to the meetings because they're not committed to the organization. They're committed to you. So that's why you want to separate that whole, other reasons why you want to separate the friends and family. But that's why you don't want to get folk like that on your board, because we could be friends, but maybe I'm not good board material. This ain't what I'm here for. They have to be connected in the community, and a reason why is because to help with things like fundraising, because somebody has to know them. Somebody has to be able to get you into places that you can't get into by yourself. So if I have connections in the community and I'm a board member, that's it. That's my way in, right? And a lot of times we look at board members and we go, oh, they served over here. They served at United Way. They served at Salvation Army. But did they serve at a raggedy organization like yours? I'm gonna just say it, right? I'm sorry. But have they served at an organization that is developing? You trying to get your foot in, you don't know what's going on. If they've served somewhere like that and they've helped them to grow, Daphne's company is called On Good Ground, right? And you're trying to get somebody who's going to help you to make this ground good. Have they served right there, or did they serve somewhere that was already fruitful? And that's a difference in how they're going to navigate and help you to grow your organization. A lot of times you'll find people who have served, in bigger places, and they come to you and you're like, dang, they're not even participating. They ain't doing this, because when you're serving at that higher level, all this stuff I'm asking you to do at ground zero,
already done.
That's too much for me, right? I can show up. I was talking about yesterday about being on the board before, and I don't do boards now. I'm like, look, I'm a consultant. Y'all got to pay me. I can't be up because y'all can make my head hurt. But being on board before, where I'm just coming in eating lasagna and I'm leaving, right? And I'm voting and I'm eating because they got stuff taken care of. I ain't got to be doing all this kind of stuff, right? But when you're in a beginning organization, especially, or you're trying to grow to a certain level, you want board members who have helped organizations grow, because they're going to understand the work part of it that has to go into place. They're going to be wanting some fundraise because they're going to know that that's very important. They're going to want to help you stay in compliance and help govern the organization, because they know at this bottom level that's important, and that's where a lot of organizations miss their mark. Tracy.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you said. So one of the things that Daphne said was that as a nonprofit, okay, I'm sorry, as a nonprofit organization, that's why you don't do lives with your window open. As a nonprofit organization, it is mandated that you have a board. So I work primarily with social entrepreneurs. And even with social entrepreneurs and social enterprises, depending on the entity, the type of entity that you set up, you do have to have a board. But these boards are paid boards, unlike nonprofits. As a social entrepreneur, if you're offering certain programs and services, you do want to have a board that mirrors the clientele that you're going to serve, which is called an advisory board. So regardless, you can't get away from boards. You need a board, right? And regardless to whether it's a paid board or a nonprofit board, which is a volunteer board, in most cases, your board still has to be the first line of defense. Whether they're helping you to connect to the community, they're helping you to acquire new business, or they're helping you to fundraise. But one of the main things that your board is supposed to help you to do is to gain awareness for your cause and your mission. They should be out there flapping their lips on a regular basis, letting everybody know that your organization exists, what you do, how you do it, and how they can help to support your organization. So in all ways, all around, ABOD is your first line of defense. That's why they came in, like Ty said, buying into that mission, not buying into you, because you know, a lot of people like me for me, but when I ask them to go solicit for some money, they be like, huh? They want it? You know, so it's completely different. You want them to buy, you want them to be connected to you, of course, but you really want them to be connected to the mission, because the more connected they are to that mission, the more likely they are to work hard to make sure that that mission is attainable, that it's you get the desired outcomes, and that they will do what I just said, flap their lips to everybody. They'll solicit willingly, you know, because most of the time you got to cajole the board. It's like meat and bread, right? Trying to get the board to actually go out there and do some type of solicitation. And what I think a lot of nonprofits especially forget is that boards need training. This is not their job, right? So you need to train them on Robert's Rule. You need to train them on fundraising strategies, solicitation strategies. Like all of these things need to be a part of the conversation when it comes to board to make them truly a line of defense, right? So if you're going to war and you got the opposing side over here and you're over here, you want to have a good big barricade. That's what your board is supposed to be. They're supposed to protect your organization and help to grow the organization, because you're in a fight to win. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, like Tracy said, you know, it's all about really like equipping and empowering your board, you know, to actually be what they can be for your nonprofit organization. So, you know, if you just put somebody on a board and you don't give them the equipment or the information that they need, then they can't do what they're supposed to do. So if you haven't effectively given them the information, you know, you just basically told them, you know, your 3-second spiel of what the organization was about, then they really don't have everything that they need to actually go advocate for you as a nonprofit organization. So it is your responsibility as the founder, ED, or whatever we're calling ourselves these days, you know, to actually, you know, that's part of your role and responsibility in that seat that you're sitting in, to educate and empower, you know, the nonprofit board, you know, to do what you're supposed to do. You can't just expect them to know what it is that's required. You have to actually equip them with what is necessary. So
I like that. Equip, educate, and empower. I like that.
Triple E or E squared.
I like that because you founders and EDs and Daphne said whatever we're calling ourselves these days, who really don't know what to do with the boards, and then we blame the boards. And then you go immediately from, hey, I want to fire the board, and you haven't equipped them with what they need. You haven't.
But when we talk about equipment, Ty, I think it goes back to the conversation we were having prior to getting on here live, right? Where we talked about sometimes people expect other people to build their brand for them, right? So you can't equip and empower if you don't even know what you want to do yourself, girl. So let's talk about that too. You know, like you have got to give them something to be defensive with.
And that's a well thought out plan.
Right, a clear plan.
That's a well thought out plan. You can't have an idea and just go for it. You know, you have to have a well thought out plan, and that's an organization plan, that's a program plan, that's a financial plan,
a plan.
You know, sustainability, that's all of that. So in other words, work has to be done before you even get to that point of actually soliciting and giving, you know, equipping a board. You have to have the information yourself in order to pass it along. So
let me give you one last thought of something I just heard today. I had someone tell me they've had their nonprofit organization for over 20 years, and they're now trying to develop programs. It was really nice talking to you guys.
Okay.
And we will see you guys in the next episode of Marketing Your Social Impact Business. We're going to be talking about digital and social media marketing for your social impact business. Let that marinate. All right. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, that's kind of rough, isn't it? Let me go and get on another shirt. Oh, we're still alive. We're still alive.